All right, so we're gonna do a real tier list video. We're not gonna do like some streamer slop that it consists of me saying that two guns are meta, and I haven't used anything else, so I don't really know if they're good or not. Uh, and we're not gonna do it based off of how it feels when I use it. And we're also not going to do it based off of gold mods because there are only like 17 gold mods in the game. We have 28 weapons. There aren't gold mods for everything. The gold mods are incredibly rare, and most people aren't going to get them, let alone like more than, I don't know, like 5 maybe. So, all 3 of those things are going to be excluded from the conversation. Yeah, those are the big ones that I see that I think are stupid. So, all right, we'll just jump in. And we're going to give, I'm going to give some real examples. We'll talk about what makes them good, what makes them bad, in my opinion. And if we need to, we can look at some stats for sure. Maybe to enlighten everybody on what's going on here. So, all right, we'll just go in order, I guess. Yeah, that'll work out. We're not going to put too many anywhere. Okay, the sidearm. I think it's okay. It's got an uncapped fire rate. So like shoots pretty good. It's like pretty accurate. It's got 15 meters of range, so it's a little bit more than shotguns. But it definitely feels like a pistol. I mean, you're kind of a clown for trying to run this as your full kit, I think. I think C tier. I think C tier probably. It has the advantage of having access to a suppressor as well. Which is definitely a big deal because most of the kids who are playing Marathon are like Destiny 2 PvPers or Apex Legends players. And they're like really bad at video games and they can't hear very good. Sound touring must be like a Rainbow Six Siege only thing, I guess. But I think C tier is pretty good for that one. I think we'll leave that there. Magnum is next. I'm going to put Magnum in D tier. I think it's pretty terrible. It shoots really slow. It doesn't do enough damage. It's like a 5 headshot on the blue shield. It might be a 6. Well, I'll be generous and we'll give it a 5. It's a lot. It's a lot of headshots. It shoots really slow. I think it's really terrible. And I think it's even more terrible that like in all of the cinematics, like Assassin has it, and he's like one-shotting people, which is crazy, because it doesn't even do that if you don't have a shield on. If you're just full health, this gun doesn't one-shot you. So, kind of an injustice, but yeah, I think that's in D tier. That might be our literal only D tier weapon, actually. I'm trying to think if there's a gun that's worse in the game. Maybe we'll do that really quick. Is there a gun that's worse than the Magnum in this game? I don't think so. His competitor will be the Repeater. But even then, I think that's like C tier still. So, anyway. Okay, V11 Punch. V11 Punch isn't bad. It's like a 4-shot in the body, so it's like already better than the Tactical. Same range, which is a little bit lame. You have that plasma pistol from Halo style charge up zap, which pulls shields off, which is pretty good. I don't think it's good enough to be in B tier, though. I do think it's a bit better than the sidearm. Depending on the situation. Like, I think if you can catch somebody with their pants down, I think the V11 Punch is a little bit better. I think if you're in, like, a real gunfight, the Tactical's a little bit better. So, I'm actually unsure if this might still be better. Well, maybe we'll come back. Maybe we'll come back to that. Burt. Burt's better than both pistols. So there's going to be a theme here in Marathon because the game is balanced extremely well. And it's going to be that, like, real guns are going to be better than, like, I don't even know what the word is. In real life, if you want to have, like, a gunfight, you're not going to be using a pistol caliber with, like, a pistol barrel length because it's just not going to have the same effective distance, right? And Marathon's very much the same way. So, like, running anything over the pistols is pretty much just better. You've got more range, more bullets. And so, naturally, those things are going to be better. That's just kind of how it works, which is a good thing, I think. That's how it should be. I don't think it's B tier, though. I think the burst's pretty bad. The burst is slow. It doesn't shoot very fast. It doesn't do very much damage. And its effective range is like 30 meters. So you get a pretty big damage fall off. So I think that one's, I think C tier is probably pretty good for that one. I put the bully here as well. That gun is pretty terrible. Shoots very slow, very small mag capacity. And then it just doesn't do, like, any damage at all. We'll put the Copperhead in here as well. I think I put it above the bully. It shoots faster. I think that's pretty much my only reasoning for that. I think they're all pretty terrible. But I think they're all C tier. So that's pretty good. Put the Volt Thrower in here. I think it's better than all the other ones. Just default. This is, like, almost in cheese territory for guns. It's pretty good. I see a lot of people use it. It's much better than the other ones, I think. Shotguns. Holy smokes. I think both of them... Well, yeah. I think the Mizrahi goes first, and then the Waster. The Mizrahi is just better than the Waster. It has more range. It has more damage. It holds more bullets. You can't, like, fumble your engagement by, like, missing both shots and then, like, not having any ammo. The Waster will beat the Mizrahi, like, point blank, because it can fire 2 shots faster. But that's more of like a rock, paper, scissors issue. Overall, the Mizrahi is much, much better. But they're shotguns, so, like, they are kind of like cheese. They kind of only work on people who either, like, aren't smart enough to play around it, or you kind of got a bit lucky, or they got a bit unlucky. Yeah, so I think that's a good spot for them. Circuit Breaker used to be so good, man. I'm really disappointed that they nerfed this into the ground as hard as they did. When you charge it up, you used to be able to hold the charge for, like, ever. Which made it so that, like, I could actually have a gunfight with it. But now it only holds the charge for a few seconds, like the railguns. And then it will just shoot. So, like, it's really hard to prime this in time for a fight. And that feels really bad. It's still gonna, like, 2-shot for a blue shield. I think you could kill me faster with the Volt Thrower and the Copperhead and the Bully. In the time it takes to charge up both shots, though. I think that's where that goes, which is really sad, because it used to be really good. I would have said that it was S tier, actually, before, like, Server Slam. Which is kind of tragic. Battle Rifle. Stronger than the shotguns, for sure, because it has range. Again, Marathon is balanced really, really well, so things that have range are kind of just going to be better than everything that doesn't. I think that's a solid B tier. Might even be the king of B... No, never mind. I saw some other guns. Okay, Hardline. Oh, man. Does it crack B tier? I don't think so. The Hardline's pretty bad. Its recoil is unusable. Most of the optics for the DMRs are, like, really bad. And then it just doesn't really have anything else going for it. So it's not great. I think that's where it goes. The repeater is terrible. Absolutely terrible. It doesn't do any damage. It has no range. And then, like, for some reason, it's a lever action. So it's worse than the Magnum for sure, I think. I'm, like, thinking about that in my head. And it shoots slower. So, like, for sure. Wow, that's kind of depressing. So that is probably the worst gun in the game then. Yikes. Strider's okay. Strider's good. Strider's just good. It's got a capped fire rate, which kind of sucks. But it's got more range, does more damage than like the volley rifle. So that's solid. That's not bad. Strider's a good gun. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that one. Let's actually look really quick. Dude, I don't think I have a Strider. I don't think I can see one either, actually, right now. Well, I'll have to go through and I will find its stats and I'll show you. I don't think one's up for us to buy here. Unfortunate. I know it's 60 though, default for the range. So, yeah, much better. That is highly unfortunate for that gun. Okay, twin tap. Twin tap is terrible. It's pretty bad. It's got a lot of recoil for some reason. Like a lot of recoil. So I think probably it goes there. They kind of all have the same problems, I think. The Lookout has the the charge up shot, which will turn a purple shield completely off. So there's like extra value there than normal for that gun. Yeah. I mean, they all suffer from the same issues. It's like it's a very low range, very little damage. So they have like some crazy big downsides. So, I think the M77 is pretty bad, but I do think it's better than the twin tap. Certainly, I think. I think that's probably where that goes. Yeah, I think I feel pretty good about that. The M77 has some other issues. You like can't mod very much of that gun, which is really unfortunate. And then it shoots slow, and then it has a lot of recoil, and both of its optics are bad. Especially in a world where like smokes, well, number one is Assassin's the most played character by an incredible margin, and then like smokes are freakishly common. You kind of always want the ability to have a thermal on your gun. Especially when our meta is kind of like shotgun sniper. Then it's like, well, you can't put a thermal on your shotgun. And depending on how you're playing the sniper, you probably don't want a thermal on the sniper either. So, like, you kind of want one of your guns to have the ability to see through the smoke, no matter what. So yeah, I don't know. It's got like a lot of downsides, So, the impact's good. It got a crazy big nerf. It's got so much more recoil than it used to have. But it's probably like the king of B tier, I think. It might even be A tier. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put it in A tier. Actually, it's got incredible damage. Incredible damage. It doesn't have any of these big downsides like shooting slow or like not being able to mod it somewhere. And it's got a ton of range. So it's in a pretty good spot. I'm a big fan. I'm a very big fan. See, it's got 60 base as well. Let this be another small thing. When you're looking at these tier lists and people show you stats, I see a lot of people not say anything about the blue here. If it's got blue, that means it's from an attachment. And you can see right there it says plus 30, so that means it's a 60. I can go through and I can pull the magazine off if you'd like to see. I mean, it even says plus 30 right there. So 60 range, 60 meters of range is really good. You're already superior to most of these guns. 46 on the SCAR, 48 on the battle rifle, 37 on that. when you get outside of this effective range, your damage gets cut in like half. It's like really terrible. Check the overrun really quick. 40 meters. So yeah, most of the guns have really, really bad range. So you're losing a lot of damage really fast. You're not doing that with the impact. Not nearly as much. And then it also means that when you put mods on it, it's going to go quite a bit further as well in range if you want to like have that conversation of putting mods on it, which I think is autistically silly. But anyway, so that's far up there in terms of how it competes with the other ones. So that's definitely an A tier gun for sure. We just do the overrun next. I think the overrun's better than the M77. I think it's better than the volley rifle. I don't think it's better than the lookout and the strider. So I think that's probably where it lands. You don't have like this weird burst fire or slow fire rate. And then again, no horrible downsides on the mod section. So I think that's a pretty good spot for the overrun. Unironically pretty good. It's kind of insane that we give it out on sponsor kits all the time. What's next here? Scar. The Scar has like no range. More importantly than it having no range is that after a certain distance, its bullets just won't hit people anymore. That's how Volt weapons work. So it like, I don't know. It's gonna be down here with the shotguns. Probably just one above because it's got a bit more range than the shotguns. But I think everything else, beats it for sure. It shoots kind of slow too. It's like really disappointing. I think that's where that goes. We could do Conquest next. Conquest is crazy. It's got more range and more damage than almost all of these assault rifles and DMR's base, which is pretty wild. And then because it's an LMG, it has access to like the most S tier thing in the game, which are the shields that go on the guns. They're the equivalent of purple shields. You can eat 2 waster shots on it before it breaks, which is pretty crazy. So kind of like defaultly, all of the LMGs are better than everything else because they have more range and more damage. And then they have a shield, which is a bit silly. And high mag capacity space, because most guns don't have that. So again, when you have the conversation of mods, it just gets better and better exponentially. So Conquest is really, really good. I think it lands S tier for sure. I think that's pretty fair. It might be A. We might revisit that a little bit. Demolition's the best gun in the game. Indisputably, I think. I think the other contender there is the long shot. But I think the Demolition just takes it outright. It does an incredible amount of damage. It has a ton of range. You get the shield. This thing will like 4-tap through blue shields on the head. It's kind of crazy. The amount of clips I have of killing people who are like trying to have a shootout with me and they have like a volley rifle or something and they just like literally can't kill me because I have a shield and my gun does more damage than them. It's like really depressing. Yeah, the Demolition's really, really good. That is probably easily the best gun in the game. Retaliator's okay. It's my least favorite of the LMGs. But again, still the LMG. So you've got a ton of range. You've got the shield. The shield is like the big kicker for the LMGs. And then you've got pretty deep magazine capacity. So definitely A tier for sure. Pulse railguns. Holy smokes. I like the Ares quite a bit more than I like the Zeus. The Ares is almost like a crossbow, the way that it works. But its charge-up time's a little bit shorter than the Ares. Or, sorry, than the Zeus. I said the wrong name there. But I still think they're, like, worse than all the... better than pistols. Better than Burt? Probably not better than Bert. And I think they probably just go right next to each other. I think both are better than the pistols. I don't think any of them are better than the SMGs, unfortunately. Which is kind of sad to say. Longshot's S tier for sure. And I do think the Longshot's a bit better than the Conquest. Conquest doesn't have the ability to pick people off at range on your first few shots, like the Demolition and the Longshot have. It still has that ability better than all these other guns, but not as much as the other two guns here in S tier. Yeah. I think the Outland's also S tier. And I don't think it's better than the Conquest. I think it's a bit worse. Just having that capped fire rate of having to cycle the gun is like pretty brutal. Really, really brutal on the Outland. But not terrible. And then the General Rifle, which is kind of garbage, honestly. It doesn't do very much damage. It's like less than half the damage of the long shot. You don't have nearly as much range because it's a Volt weapon. Its reload's pretty killer. So this is probably just A tier. But I do think it's better than the Impact. I don't think it's better than the Retaliator. Yeah. Nope, pretty happy with that, I think. Demolition to Longshot. Yeah. I think as of right now, as everything sits right now, the Demolition is definitely the king. Longshot after it, then the Conquest, then the Outland. I think that seems exactly right. Yeah. I wish I had like a separate category that was called cheese that I could put the Mizraya and the Waster in, but I don't. So I think that's just where they sit. You're obviously going to see a lot more success using both shotguns over probably everything, actually. And it's because it's cheese. So.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to, kind of hard to. Probably like the Volt Thrower would go in the cheese category as well. Maybe the Punch as well. But, yeah, I think that's pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with the examples I gave too. So that's, I think that's the weapon tier list.